Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the 2017 December kits. And let me start off by saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone watching, since this layout is going up on the blog and YouTube on Christmas Day. I'm going to be scrapping a Christmas page here using kits and products that are not Christmas related. And there are my Christmas morning pictures from a few years ago of Paige jumping on a trampoline. That was actually not even a Christmas gift that year, but oh well, it doesn't matter. She's in front of the Christmas tree playing with toys, so I'll take it. So what my plan is for this page is to start with the word Christmas really big across this beautiful watercolor paper that Eric designed. And I use the Impact font, and that is a great font if you're going to be doing a really big cut file title like this, because it's nice and thick and open and it gives you lots of space to use pattern paper to back the letters with. So I know that I'm going to incorporate the word Christmas into my layout, and I'm going to, back everything first and kind of work everything around that. And that's one good thing about doing this kind of title, is because once you get it done, you can't move it around, and so you're limited as to where everything else goes. And I like that about this type of technique, because it kind of helps you get going. Now I'm trying to find pinks, reds, greens, anything that looks Christmassy to back these letters with. I didn't want a lot of black. I didn't want any yellow. I didn't want a rainbow effect. I've already cut a lot of stars out of that beautiful paper. That's actually the back of the paper that I'm using for this layout, as you can see there. Those stars went on my layout for last week. So look at this. Who'da thunk it? Christmas color scheme with a non-Christmas kit. I love how this turned out. So yeah, I think this is great. I was excited about how this looked. So my pictures are going to go right underneath Christmas, and I do want to do some more mixed media with some pinks and golds on the background, and so I want to make sure that my paper can hold it, and I want to make sure that I've got a little bit of white space. So I'm just using my hand like I usually do. Well, sometimes I use a palette knife, but my favorite tool is just to smudge it with my hand. So that's all I'm doing here, and I'm kind of overlapping some of the letters, and some of the gesso is getting inside where the cut file cut through the paper, and it left it white, so it kind of looks snowy, and I love that. And so anyway, I'm ready to go with my paints. Now this is the Shimmers paint that came in the color kit this month. It's a Creamies, and it's called Berry Hot. And when I started to use it, I noticed that it was definitely a different pink shade than the pinks that I have in my word here. And so I'm going to do a little bit of mixing and matching to make sure my pinks match up. But I'm just trying to create some pink, watercolor splotches to be peeking out from behind the pictures down at the bottom. Now this is another Shimmers. This is not from this month. This is from a previous color kit. It's a spritz, and it's called Ruby, and it's a little bit darker pink, and I think blending that with the Berry Hot gives me a better color match to the pinks in the word. So I'm just making a mess here. I'm splattering, I'm smudging, and I'm okay if some of this overlaps the word Christmas. You're still going to be able to see it in the end. But I wanted to break up the color, and I'm going to have these bold black and white photos that are going to really stand out on the page. And so I wanted to create a little bit more of different colors on the background, rather than just the blue from the background paper. Now this is, gosh, I think we got this Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine in a color kit 2 years ago, maybe. Still using it. It's amazing. I think everybody knows about Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine, but it works well with splatters, it works well with spraying, it works well with packaging, just like the Shimmers do, and they're definitely my all-time favorite things to use on a background like this. So I'm just mixing and matching the pinks and the gold, and I love how that looks. Now I decided to add some white splatters, and so I just pulled some of my white acrylic paint, watered it down, and I'm using a brush to splatter it on to create some snow, because that's very easy to do if you want the effect of snow on your page. Just water down some white paint and splatter away, and it's very thick, so it's not going to seep right into your paper since it's paint. Now this did come in the color kit this month. This is also from Shimmers. It's a pasties. It's called Puttin' on the Glitz, and it's a very creamy, glittery texture paste. It's smooth though, and I'm just kind of smudging some down with my finger, and when it dries, it's going to dry clear, and it's going to be just like glitter glue on the page. And I just want a little bit of shine and sparkle, so I added that in. I'm using a red gelato from my stash here just to add a little bit of shading underneath the pictures there, because I do have some red going on in some of those letters. I'm back to the ruby here, and I'm just going back and forth. Whatever area needs something, I just kind of add it as I go. Okay, my background's drying, and this is just some random tissue paper that I keep near my desk, and I use it quite a lot. It's just regular old wrapping paper, tissue paper, like you would use for a gift. And this is kids adhesive foam from the craft section at Walmart. I love to use this. It's sticky on one side, and it's the perfect height for popping things up off your page. All right, so now I'm going to get to layering and embellishing. This is a Project Life card, and I just pulled one of my scallop punches from my stash, and I'm going to use it as a little bit of a layer underneath the picture or the pictures. And I'm going to do the same thing with this card, except I'm going to rip this one, and it's a white and very light mint color, and I'm just going to use these as layers and little bits of just something peeking out from behind the pictures. And I pulled out some things from the die cuts and the ephemera from the kits. Some of it is Vicki Boutin, some of it is crate paper, and like I said, I'm trying to stick with this color scheme that I've got going on, so I didn't want any yellows. And I just hem and haw around for quite a bit, trying to decide what to use, because from this point on, most everything is going to be centered. Since I've got the two pictures, you know, I want them to be perfectly straight, right beside each other, right underneath Christmas, since it's nice and straight. And so that's going to sort of dictate where everything else is going to go. Now I'm going to pull this bright green color from the R and the A, and pull that down a little bit to the bottom there. And so that green thread is a good way to do that. I know I've said this a million times, but thread is a great way to add pops of color. It adds texture, and you know, if you're doing a mixed media background or not, it doesn't matter. It just adds a little something extra to the page, I think. Now if you're a very neat and clean and linear scrapper, the nests of thread may not be your thing, but if you like to get a little bit messy from time to time, I think it's a great and easy way, because I didn't really have anything else that was that green color, and so the thread was perfect. And so now I've got my little 3 points of that green color there. And I pulled these flowers. This is from Vicki Boutin, and this stem, because they matched, and I like how they look down at the bottom there. I'm going to layer those underneath the picture, and I'm going to cut. I don't know if you've tried this yet, but there's a whole pack of these Vicki Boutin clips. You can totally cut them. I'm not even going to use the clip part. I just want the bird. But they're made out of, I don't even know what kind of material it is, but it's definitely cuttable, because, you know, it's not a hard plastic. So that was a pretty pleasant surprise. I'm going to use some of those Pink Fresh Studio layered stitched hearts. No, they're just not hearts. Those are stars. Because when I think of Christmas, I think of stars. So I'm going to use some of those. And they look like gold, because there's actually gold foil underneath it, and on top is vellum. And so I love how it looks like a muted gold color. I pulled a sticker leaf and a chipboard leaf. That's all from Crate Paper Good Vibes. And then I'm going to add some blue thread up above the pictures. And then I decided, since I had some open space in the middle of the pictures right there, it's just basically the curtains hanging down. You're not missing anything in the pictures. I thought I would add a couple of embellishments that match, some die cuts. The bigger one says always on the go, and then the pink one says this happened. And sometimes I like to layer things on top of the pictures if the picture allows it, and if it's just the right embellishment. Because like if you see these pictures, everything you need to see is her jumping on the trampoline, the Christmas tree behind her, and some, you know, gifts scattered everywhere. Oh yeah, I stitched through the word Christmas. I was just showing you how everything's so shimmery there. But if you're not covering up anything important on the picture, I think it's perfectly fine to embellish on top of it. So, you know, I added the stars. Again, like the one on the right, it's just the window. There's nothing there. So why not jazz it up by adding an embellishment? All right, these stickers are amazing. They're foam gold. They're like a light gold glitter. They are so perfect. They're just the right width, the height. The glitter does not come off. They stick. If there ever was a perfect sticker, these are them, let me tell you. I love how that looks. I was going to actually do another cut file in a cursive font. Cursive, that's not a word. But I love how that gold sparkles. Love these. And these are Pink Fresh Studio, the perfect color to match the background. I'm just going to use the word very and stick that little bird right on top of the E. Now these are some leftover stars that I cut last week for my layout. They're the perfect color because I cut them from the exact same paper as my background. So I'm going to use those in a couple spots. Just because they were sitting there, and I thought, why not? When in doubt, use it up. If it matches, go for it. Make it work. More stickers. I'm going to add a little flower there. And you know, I really wasn't even thinking about flowers on a Christmas layout, but it matched, and I love how it looked, and it works. So we're going with it. This is a little tab sticker. It says memories. I'm just going to stick that over there on the right. A lot of those stickers there matched, but they just didn't necessarily go with my theme, or I didn't have a spot for them. So I just didn't add anything else. I added some more gold, and then I'm going to come in with a couple of enamel dots, and those are also Vicky Boutin. And that's a fun little pack because there's a couple of different things on there. And I was kind of hesitant about starting this at first because I thought, how am I going to come up with another Christmas idea with these kits that are not Christmas related? And then once I got the word Christmas cut and got it backed with those papers, it just happened. And I was excited to make this. I love how it turned out. I love the colors. I love the background paper. I wish I had about 50 more of those. Erit, you need to make some more. Hint, hint. And send them all to me. Anyway, there is the final layout. I love how this turned out. I'm super excited that this is my last Christmas layout of the year. I feel like I've been making Christmas layouts for months, and it really hasn't been months. But anyway, I'm excited to get back to scrapping everyday regular photos and take a break from Christmas, even though it has been fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is a definite fun way to make a holiday layout using these kits. Even though they're not Christmas related, clearly it can be done. So I hope you guys give it a try because it was fun to do. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you next week.